Well. You hit 2 home runs. Guess what? You're going to show up on A's Cast Live. What a big game yesterday for Nick Allen. Thanks for coming on the program. And had to feel great. And a win against the Giants and beating them 2 straight.
First off, thanks for having me. It was a good day yesterday. It felt good. I'm just glad we got a win with it, because that makes it feel even better for sure with the type of day. And then capping it off by beating the Giants, it was definitely a fun day for sure.
We have talked about this. For you, it's always about you go to the next level. There can be some struggles, and then you figure it out, and boom, away you go. Do you feel like that's where you're at right now?
I feel like I'm putting together some quality at bats, and I mean that's what I keep. I keep a sheet of quality at bats for myself, and just kind of base it off just kind of being ready to swing at good pitches. So I've been looking at that a lot lately, and it's definitely been a lot better up here for sure. So I'm just going to keep going, keep trying to hit the ball hard, do anything I can to help this team win some games, and I think right now we're trending in a good direction.
When you say a quality at bat, so game's over, you're going back home, and you say quality at bat versus not a quality at bat. When you mark down quality, what has to happen to qualify for a quality at bat?
I think for it to be official, obviously you want to put together a strong AB. I think anything more than 8 pitches plus is a good quality at bat. Anything hit hard is, I think, a quality at bat for myself. But I kind of take it to the next step because this game is built on you go 3 for 10. That's seven out of those 10 times you're failing. So you got to try to make some things positive because else you'd be going home being like failing a lot. Other than maybe a 1 for 3 game or a 1 for 4 game. There's failure in that too by sometimes. So I kind of base it off if I get a good swing on a good pitch that I was looking for. I start kind of looking at that as that's positive, and then I start barreling baseballs. That's another positive. So kind of put that in my quality at bat sheet. And like I said, it's been good lately. So I'm just trying to keep that going in the positive direction.
Yeah, because it's interesting because, walks are a quality at bat. Yeah. There's certain things, and I like that you keep track of it because when there are times that you're not going well, you can kind of diagnose why things are not going well.
100%. And when you're barreling baseballs and maybe you're not getting anything to show for it, you can look back at that and be like, no, I'm right where I need to be. I'm in a good spot. Just keep going.
How much do you think about keeping the ball out of the air? Even though you just hit 2 home runs, how much do you think about, because your speed, your ability to make contact, speed, bunt, that's, that plays for you.
I think just getting up there and being ready to be aggressive and put a good swing on the pitch. It's hard to say, hey, I'm going to try to hit a line drive here because everyone wants to do that, and it's hard to say I'm going to try to hit the ball on the ground because sometimes you might just swing too much down and you pop it up. Or it's like, I'm going to try to hit the ball in the air here, and then sometimes it's hard to do that. So I just think about putting a good swing on a good pitch to hit, and whatever happens after that.
So when you talk about making adjustments, where are you in the season? Do you feel like I figured it out? Not completely, but you figured it out, and this is what I'm going with. You're still tinkering. Where are you with that?
Yeah, I think I made an adjustment about a week and a half ago, I think right before Colorado, just to kind of close my stance a little bit. It's something I've wanted to do. Just kind of was like, I got to keep going because I've had success, in AAA, and I know that it's AAA, but I've had success doing what I know I can do, and that's with what I've had, and I brought that here. I think just, I think I needed to make a little change to find a way to stay back, and I think closing my stance helped me get into my back hip a lot better and just stay behind the baseball so I can get the barrel out.
And making changes, it's tough because you don't want to do it too early. You don't want to do it too late. You want to be able to trust that change when you're in the heat of battle. So talk about when you make that decision going, whether it's going to be your hands, your feet, whatever it's going to be, where you stand in the box. Take us through when you're going to implement the change.
It's not easy, because you're trying to battle out here and everyone is really good here. So it's like you want to be the best version of yourself. So sometimes it's hard just trusting like, hey, let's make a change here. Really work on it in the cage. But when you get up, battle and get in there and compete. But yeah, it's a hard thing to do, is to make a change. And that's something I was going back and forth with. That's why it was hard. It's hard coming to the decision like, hey, I think it's time.
Yeah, well, the 2 home runs definitely help out. But then I know what everybody's thinking is like, Well, don't start thinking you're Babe Ruth now and everything, and you're Barry Bonds and everything's flying out of the yard.
No, I completely understand that. I just hitting the ball. I just want to hit the ball hard. If I can
Yeah.
do that, I think we're gonna put myself in a good situation.
Geloff is interesting to me because he obviously is not a second baseman by trade, but that's now what he has become. And when we saw him down in Stockton years ago, he was a third baseman. Everybody talked about him being the future third baseman. You've now gotten a chance to work with him at second base. How's that going so far, the communication between you two?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, first off, he's just a good guy. So it's like we're always talking, we're always communicating. And then, he's working his tail off out there. I mean, he's out getting early work, getting as many ground balls as possible. I mean, he's putting in the work, and I'm proud of him.
Shortstop is a really tough position, and we try and tell people about the athleticism that you have to have, but there's more to that. And to me, you're going to be at your very best when you have the ultimate trust. And since Marcus Simeon's in the building, Marcus Simeon had that trust with Matt Chapman on his right. So for you as a shortstop, what's it like trying to gain that trust when you have revolving door at third base? Now, hopefully you got a second baseman. What does that mean to you, the communication and the trust?
I think just with whoever's out there, just make sure we're all on the same page, making sure we know where we are on the field. I think that's a big thing. And I think with more reps and out there with each other, I think it's only going to get better.
What's the number one thing do you think you've learned from the first time we started doing this to where you are now with getting ready and playing the game and going out there to win? What's the number one thing?
I think first of all, trust yourself, trust in your abilities. That you're going to go out there and you're going to help this team win, and you're going to be a part of it. No matter what you do, just try to find a way to be there for your teammates, and trust in your abilities. I think that's the biggest thing. That's what I write down all the time, is try to trust in who you are, because it's good enough.
Yeah, you do got to write it down, because sometimes you forget an 0 for 4. You want to go home and cry because it's tough. This game, you want to throw stuff and you want to be angry, but you got to reinforce who you are, and what you believe in.
No, 100%. I mean, like I said, like I try to, I keep a book, it's like quality at bats, but that goes at the bottom of it just so I can write that down. But it's like I write down kind of some stuff I want to accomplish, some things I can control. And then I try to write it all down, journal it. And then I close the book and then go take a shower and then leave. And then I just live my life, because I don't want to try to bring it back with me, because it's going to come back with me, but I want to try to forget it and then move on. And then next day is a new day, but try to take the good and then go.
Is there anything that you had in your mind that you thought the big leagues was going to be like, and now that you've been here, you went, that's not what I thought it was going to be like?
No, I mean, it's amazing. You grow up in just kind of dreaming and wondering what it's going to be like, but it's nothing short of it. It's awesome. I think the one thing that really does stand out, though, is that it's just still baseball. You've played this game your whole life, and it's still the same game. I think that's a big thing, other than probably more fans, bigger stadiums. But at the end of the day, it's still baseball. So that's something I've kind of saw, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I've played this game, I've done this, so it's not like it's nothing new to me.
We've talked about on this show, we've also talked about on the Clubhouse show, that's our post-game show, that I think it's big for you guys that you've been playing in front of big crowds. You had big crowds in Colorado. You had big crowds in Los Angeles. You had big crowds for these two games. You had big crowds over in San Francisco. Do you think that helps you younger guys to play in front of the big crowds, and what has that been like?
No, it's awesome. I think it's great getting fans out in the stands and having that energy in the building, because it's something like I said, you've dreamt of your whole life, and you live for those moments. So it's awesome, and we feed off energy like anybody does, so anytime we can get more fans in the stands, it's awesome.
Now, one thing that I would love for you guys to take on is that persona of we're the spoilers. We're here to ruin your party, right? Because you are playing, you have been playing, and you're going to continue to play the Rangers, the Astros. You got all these teams that you're going to be playing that are trying to win the division. They're trying to get into the postseason. Have you guys talked about that at all? Because young teams that become spoilers and learn how to win, that helps you going into next year.
No, 100%. I think like you said, we got a lot of good games against quality opponents, and we're going to try to go out there and play our brand of baseball and keep growing and kind of really discovering who we are as a team. And I think you saw it the past 2 days. I mean, we wanted to win. We know we can win. We just got to go out there and play our brand of baseball, put together 9 innings, 27 outs, and I think right now we're on a good stretch, and we just got to keep that going, right? And if we're playing against people that have opportunities to get in the playoffs, I mean, we want to win every game, so we're going to have to try to spoil our season somehow.
It's fun to watch you grow. It's fun.
Appreciate it. Yeah,
keep making it happen, and you watching the young guys play together, it's bringing excitement, and keep it rolling.
Thank you.
That's your shortstop right here on A's Cast Live.